Here we are.
G'day.
I'm here with Matt from HMJ Trailers and Welding.
Yes.
And Matt's come over. He's been good enough to come down to change over a what do you call this?
Just a VIN number.
A VIN number. And these are these plates. What are they called?
Just a VIN plate.
VIN plate. So Matt's changed over a VIN plate for us. We've had to change VIN numbers. Now, a lot of people will probably be familiar with this old style black VIN plate. That's been replaced now by this. It's a new style VIN plate that's blue. Could you just explain to people what the difference is between these two plates, please, Matt?
Now, the differences are, there are a few different, some have got some different writing on there and different things like that. The blue actually doesn't really mean that much. That's just the colour we picked at the time. But the main thing is there's no tear weights on trailers anymore, so you don't actually have to put on there what trailers are weighed to when they're built, basically.
Okay, so the advantage of that when you're building a tiny house on wheels is that now your trailer manufacturer will be able to build the trailer to the specified weight, to the maximum weight as before, but the weighbridge scenario is no longer relevant. So you must, of course, keep your tiny house under the maximum ATM.
That's right.
Okay, that's your responsibility to do that.
That's
Anyone
right.
who's driving a trailer or a tiny house down the road must comply with that. It must be under the ATM.
That's it. So it's only rated to whatever the ATM is, whether it be 3.5 tonne, 4.5 tonne, whatever that may be. So that's all that it's rated to carry.
Okay, so you as the owner are liable then, or you're held responsible to know how much things weigh, either fully packed or half packed or totally unpacked. In any case, it's up to you to know what the weight of your vehicle is that's travelling on the road at any given time. So what that means for tiny houses is, well, for a start, it is possible to have a trailer that's made for a tiny house on wheels. And of course, when you're talking to someone like Matt who's going to make a tiny house trailer, he knows, he's had the experience of doing it, he knows exactly what needs to go where to make sure
That's right, to make sure it's
safe.
safe. That's exactly right.
And that's what it's about at the end of the day, being safe. So when you make that trailer, can you issue someone with a VIN number that's going to suit their tiny house?
Yes, we can. While there's no tear weights required on there, it's probably a better idea to have a tear weight, just so you know exactly what it weighs when it's empty, so you've got an idea of how much things weigh and what you can put in there and what you can't.
And I suppose ultimately check that you're not overweight.
That's right, check that you're not over the weight limit.
Knowing what sort of things that you can put in there.
That's right.
To
what
carry.
Sort of buffer you've got left to how much you can play with.
All right. So I guess there's a few stages there where it's important to people. One is to know how heavy your trailer is before you build, so that you know what sort of weight you can put on it.
That's right. So we know what we're going to build for you.
Second would be to know when it's finished as a tiny house shell. What weight that is, to know what you can put in it to travel on the road.
That's right, just to make sure that you're under your legal limit.
Otherwise you might have to be looking at if you're on or around the legal limit, you might find yourself needing to transport all your stuff.
That's right.
In a
different trailer
or something like that.
That's right, to get you set up.
There to get set up. That's right. So what else has changed since we last talked? There's also some changes to what can be issued with a permit for unregistered vehicles.
That's right.
To have a permit that essentially gives them that registration
to be able
for a short
to move
time.
That's it.
What changes have been going on there, Matt?
You can't haul anything over 2.5 now unless it's over 4.5 tonnes. So if we build a trailer that's 4 tonne and it's 3 metres wide, we need to transport that. We can't actually tow them on the road anymore.
So when Matt's saying transport, he's not talking about hooking up to a car and driving off?
That's right, we're actually talking about putting it on a truck or a trailer or a similar vehicle and towing it to its destination.
All right, so what that is saying really is that people with a car or even a huge four-wheel drive
can't actually tow these things.
Tow a trailer that's over 2.5 metres.
That's it.
Either registered or with a permit.
Or with a permit.
Because you won't receive a permit.
So over 4.5 tonne, we can tow them on the road, but it falls under things like trucks and prime movers and things like that. But then you've got air brakes and different setups, and it's quite expensive as you go along. So just keep in mind, if you're going to make something that's 3 metres wide, it's probably best to think about the transport cost as well to get it from A to B.
So are you saying, Matt, then that you can transport a trailer that's 3 metres wide?
Yes.
With a truck?
Yes, as long as it's under 26 metres from back of trailer to front of the truck, and it's under 3.1, you don't need a permit.
Okay, so where's the line of what can tow that trailer and what can't tow that trailer?
So basically, if you were to make something 3.5 tonne that was 3 metres wide, you can't tow it at all. It's got to go on the back of a flatbed or a truck.
Oh,
or a
I see,
trailer.
yes.
So if it was 3 metres wide and 4.6 tonne, they will issue you with a permit to actually move that on the road.
Okay, so by going over the 4.5 tonne by necessity, you're actually fitting all of these air brakes and all of these onto a trailer, air brakes onto
a trailer, and then you can actually hire a company to move it with a truck or a prime mover, someone who's got air brakes fitted to their truck.
Okay.
So yet again, you still can't move it with your four-wheel drive because you haven't got air brakes.
All right. And not making it easy for people, are they?
No, that's right. No, that's exactly right.
And any thoughts as to why these rules have come about? Is it just to stop people in
I think it's just a general, like 3 metre wide trails are fairly, like they are almost as wide as a lane, so they are fairly wide, and I think it's just to stop people hooking up and just towing it wherever they like.
Right.
So basically I think you've got to have a little bit more experience and that sort of stuff, and a truck licence or something like that to actually be able to move it and have the experience behind you.
Okay. And do you think any of this tightening of restrictions has been brought about by the Commonwealth Games, or is it just with things moving around, or is it just a general?
No, I think it's just a general. That's where we're heading. It's just a change of the rules. So maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah, but less chance of things getting clipped with that.
That's it.
With a restriction
that's
on
it.
the 2.5
one that's actually 2.5 metres.
Yeah.
So if you can stay to 2.5, great. If you've got to go to 3 metres, just keep that in mind that you will need to pay a transport company to move it around.
All right, thanks for your time today,
That's
mate.
right, sir. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you again.
That's right, mate.
All right, take it easy.
All right, sir.
How's your house going?
Good.
Finished?
We've got all the roof on.